Hi, my name is Matthew Kingdon, and welcome to the Chihuahua presentation. If you're on this presentation, you're probably thinking to yourself, why should I go to Chihuahua, Mexico? Well, allow me to explain why you should go to this lovely, beautiful state of Chihuahua, Mexico. Let's get into it with the pre-Hispanic civilizations. The state of Chihuahua has had some of the most, many indigenous tribes scattered around the state. Some were larger than others, like the Tepehuanas, Conchos, and Tarahumara. The Tarahumara tribe is the best recorded, and there's so much more information available on them than the rest, which is very unfortunate that the rest of the tribes don't have such a spoken history, or excuse me, recorded history rather than a spoken history. But we're still going to get into the Tarahumara. As you can see here, we have on the right side of your screen a map of the beautiful state of Chihuahua. As you can see here in the west southern part of the state. You have where the Tarahumara are located near the Mayo. On their right is the Conchos, and so they are in the north. As you notice up in the very top right of hand of your screen is the U.S. state of Texas. Just to show you that Chihuahua is very close to the United States, so it is one of the more northern states in the country. Very beautiful place again. Well, let's move on to Choramora traditional religion. The people from this tribe are from a pre-colonial era where they believed to partake in shamanistic rituals and had belief in a creator god, Onorami. To this day, only around 3% remain unaffiliated with the Catholic Church. This is very unfortunate. They are called Gentiles and Cimarrones. Those who implemented the Catholic police would be named Bazitos. This is an unfortunate thing. Their culture isn't fully erased, but it is not as abundant as it should be maybe today. On the left hand of your screen, you could see these young gentlemen running. This will move into that a little more on the next slide, but this is something they find very important to them. And look at what they're wearing. Just absolute beautiful colors. You're going to see a lot of this when you come down to Chihuahua, Mexico. It is just truly something remarkable to see. And let's move into it. Tamara cultural practice, running. The Tamara people are known as the running people. Well, why is that? There are many reasons for this. There's the first one is prayer. A lot of them see this as a form strong of prayer. Yes, running can be a form of prayer. It is what they feel holds them closest to their God. It's another way to build stamina for animal hunting. Yes, they still go out and hunt for animals. Not everywhere is going to have a grocery store, and the Tarahumara people are going to do this the best way they can. It's also going to build a great, strong community. The Ratchabari and the outright, the women's and the men's versions of that. Um, and it's also going to build this community would be helping the long distance runners to finish the race. Yeah. And that's the thing. People want to see their friends and their family members and their community succeed. So they're going to help each other train for these long distances. Absolutely stunning. Now, moving on to stunning, we have the Metropolitan Cathedral of Chihuahua, Mexico. This was first started in 1725 and it would be completed in 1729. The cathedral is a display of fine craftsmanship, colonial architecture in northern Mexico. So, yes, this is built in the Spanish style of architecture. However, even though it is something from the colonial past and the colonial past isn't so great, this is one of those things where it is an outlier. Just absolutely beautiful, stunning architecture. Only took a few years to build. Is stunning cathedral. If you go to Chihuahua City, you're gonna have to come here. It is without a doubt one of the best places to go. But if that doesn't sell you, we can talk about two more amazing landmarks you're going to have to see in Chihuahua, Mexico. Two, the Cuentas Comeros Cultural Center, built by the Colombian architect invited by Governor Enrique Creel. Many European artists living in the city would contribute their art to the house. So you have paintings, sculptures, and fine craftsmanship. And it's going to be inspired by the French and their French architectural style. I mean, look at those beautiful green roofs. Wish I had that. Now, moving on to Francisco Villa Museum, also better known as the Historical Museum of the Mexican Revolution, and is the former residence of General Francisco Pancho Villa, and the museum lights Pancho Villa's death mask, created very shortly after his death. Other notable exhibits is a chapel built by his wife. We also have weapons and other stuff from the Mexican Revolution shown in this uh, excuse me, museum. Now, moving on to the railroad and tourism. Copper Canyon Railroad, privatized in 1998, formerly owned by the United States, but is no longer that case. It is owned by the owners in Chihuahua, Mexico. This is going to boost tourism. Absolutely, yes. Used to be owned by private companies from the United States. It is a 225-mile railroad popular with tourists. 390 miles total across all locations outside of Chihuahua. If you're a fan of bridges and tunnels, well, this might be the place for you because on this rail line you will go over 37 bridges and 86 tunnels. Yes, it is truly something out of a movie. Now it's going to trek across the Sierra Madre Mountains. It starts in Chihuahua, but it disembarks towards Sonora, Durango, and Sinaloa. So it is not just a Chihuahua thing, but you have access to three other states with on this railroad. Now, that's a pretty big thing. The United States, we don't have a lot of rail systems, especially for the passenger variety. It is really only more for industrial. So this is something Chihuahua, Mexico definitely has up on us. And that is why you're going to want to check it out. The Copper Canyon is absolutely beautiful. No, it's not made out of copper, but it does have that beautiful copper tint to it. And the Sierra Madre Mountains are just another one that is truly beautiful. Okay, moving on to Martha Cotera. Yes, Chihuahua, Mexico does have the great people because it's Chihuahua, Mexico. It is simple as that. Not to be confused with Beverly Hills, Chihuahua 1, 2, and 3. George Lopez is in one of those movies for some reason. But no, back to Chihuahua, Mexico. In her early years, she was exposed to the idea of politics through her grandparents. Guterra immigrated to the United States around the age of 8, where she grew up to be a prominent political and social justice activist in Texas. So, yes, Chihuahua, Mexico is exporting some of their great people outside of Mexico to help others in need. Something just so selfless of Chihuahua, Mexico. And what a beautiful thing they are doing. Other activism public services during college years, she worked as a librarian and archived important literature. In 1791, or excuse me, in 1971, she co-founded the La Raza Unida Party in Texas, which she advocated for social and radical justice in the United States. She later created a women's caucus of the party as well. She remains today an active member in the community, both socially and politically. Now, that is truly a fantastic thing. Unfortunately, you will probably not see her, but that does not matter because you are going to see Chihuahua, Mexico. It's one of the beautiful places. Look at those landmarks. It's just, again, just awesome. Look at those awesome people just having a good time. Chihuahua, Mexico is a fantastic place to come, and you're going to want to come here because it is just truly beautiful. It's remarkable, and why not? Simple as that. If you're not, if you're not convinced now, You may never be convinced, but I will see you in Chihuahua.